Hello and welcome back to another episode of All the Foods, the show where we eat all the foods. Today we are doing the pork hot pot. Pot roast?
Correct, we're done.
There we go, got it in the end. I don't know where it's from, but from what I've seen, it looks quite nice. So, can't wait to try it.
Hello again. Not a great deal to say about this one. Again, it's from Catherine Rothwell's Lancashire Cookbook, and we're making it according to the recipe on page 39, or there and thereabouts. My unseen assistant always manages to put her own little tweak on whatever we're making, but certainly all the ingredients are the same, and so we're looking very much forward to a pork pot roast. Okay, well, these are the ingredients for our pork pot roast. We are going to scale them down a bit. I don't think, we really do need 8 onions or 8 apples. So we've got a boned and rolled joint of pork here, and we need some butter or margarine on it, so my unseen assistant has already prepared that and put in some salt and pepper. We haven't put any stock in, have we, yet? Okay, I just remembered another ingredient we will need with the stock. There, we've chosen ham stock, obviously ham pork, pretty much the same sort of thing. So we need some onions, some small sweet apples, some spuds, and some chopped parsley, which we'll just be chopping off later. And a bit later on we're going to core the apples. Oh yes, that's just reminded me, and some sage and onion stuffing. Okay, so now we're just preparing the meat. Yeah, and just going to be a bit more technical here. What she's doing is actually browning the meat as a starter. While the meat is browning, my unseen assistant is slicing the onions, and they go into the dish with the pork. Or a pan, but it says a pan in the book, but that doesn't matter. Pull this back out. Okay, so the dish now goes back in the oven, and then I will get on with peeling the apples. Okay, Simon will now demonstrate his newfound skill in coring apples, which is part of the process for this recipe.
Okay, so I've already taken the stalk out of this apple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lay this down flat. I'm going to get a nice, decently firm grip on it. And I'm going to hold the piece of equipment like this.
The corer, it's called.
Yeah, the corer.
We bought that on eBay earlier this week.
It's got a sort of serrated edge, so you can sort of jab it in like this, So you get a nice firm hold of it. Right down the twist till you hear that. Oh, so nice.
And yeah, you have a fully cored out apple.
No,
Well done, Super Simon.
Thank you.
Well, we've now peeled the potatoes and we think they're a little bit hard, so we're going to parboil them for about 5 minutes just to soften them up a little bit. Right, this is what we called the apples for. We've made up the stuffing, and now you've put the stuffing where you've made the hole.
I need a teaspoon for that. How did they do this with stuffing?
Now we're a little bit further on in our venture. We've both helped in stuffing the apples. You might find it easier actually to turn them round and work from either end, make sure that they're fully stuffed. Not quite ready to go in the pan yet, and we're now also getting to the point where we've parboiled the potatoes, so now it's a case of waiting a bit longer for the pork to cook before we add the rest of the stuff. Now we're at the point where it can come out of the oven and we can add the rest of the ingredients. It's already looking pretty good. So in go the spuds. And in go the apples. Right. And while that goes in the oven for another hour, I will now chop up the parsley, which we use to garnish it at the end. So this is what our pork pot roast looks like. My unseen assistant has taken it out and some of the juice out and made some gravy. So that looks like a good idea to me. Hope it tastes as good as it looks. Now we're at the point where it can come out of the oven and we can add the rest of the ingredients. It's already looking pretty good. So in go the spuds. And in go the apples. Right. And while that goes in the oven for another hour, I will now chop up the parsley, which we use to garnish it at the end. Okay, so we now have 3 servings with the parsley being applied to the plate. Okay. Simon is now going to try pork pot roast.
took you long enough. Right. Go. Get a decent amount, you can see all that.
Okay.
Tell you what, folks, that's really nice.
Okay.
That's really lovely. Just have a little bit more of that before I move on to the apple and the stuffing, which I do not want to try, but
Honestly, you'd think we tortured him, wouldn't you?
that's surprisingly edible.
Right, very good. So, thumbs up from Simon.
It is now Mike's turn for the taste test.
Oh, that's good.
It is really nice.
With the apple. Oh, that's terrific. Well done, Mum. Certainly is.
Oh, oh no. In fact, once that's... I didn't go all the way through. What the...
No, it sounded like it did.
Yeah, it did.
Twist.
I know.
Oh,
There we go.
and there we go.
Can I try again so I look a bit less of a plonker?